What is up, guys? Boima here from the A-Team, and I want to show you guys a few photos. What do they all have in common? Well, they were shot with this guy, the iPhone. And today, we are going to be covering how to shoot better iPhone photos. The first tip for shooting better iPhone photos is finding a camera app that works best for you. The built-in camera app is great and all, it doesn't allow you to manually adjust certain things like a DSLR would. I'm talking about your shutter, your aperture, white balance, you get the point. There are several apps out there. For this demonstration, we will be using VSCO. Now VSCO includes multiple filters that mimic the look of film and offers integrated adjustment tools such as exposure, contrast, shadows, highlights, grain, and more. Now this gives you so much more control than your phone's native camera app. The thing that most people do wrong when shooting iPhone photos is that they add a filter, even more than one filter, and they think they're done. Do not do this. What's next? Put a LUT over your footage and call yourself a colorist? No! Just like grading can take a bit more work to get your photos looking good, you want to do the same thing with your iPhone. In some cases, it works out well, but in some situations, it looks a bit overdone and dull. Tip number 2, keep it simple. Minimal photography is on the rise, and Steve Jobs said it himself, simplicity is key. Try to find locations that look amazing, but don't have too many things going on that distract your viewer. If you guys are like me, love sharing on Instagram, you have to keep in mind that people are viewing your photos from their tiny little smartphone screens. If you have all this crazy graffiti, text, and objects that don't need to be in your frame, your photos will be too distracting and your viewers will get lost. Having a clean, simple, and minimal approach to your photos is an easy and powerful way to start taking better iPhone photos. Tip number 3, shoot a portrait near a window. If you're looking to get really soft cinematic portraits, try placing your subject next to a window. Having light come directly through your window produces a soft, natural, and clean look. To take this a step further, try using a hazer or fog machine to soften up your images even more. Tip number 4, adding visual elements to your images. Feeling like your photos are flat? Try adding some visual interest in your shots by shooting through things. Try glass, prisms, leaves, plastics, doesn't matter. There are no limits here. If you don't have the time to do that, try finding an app. I personally use lens distortions. This app lets you not only add in light hits on top of your images, but is also useful for adding in distortions, blur effects, fog, smoke, and even particles. You can even layer these effects at the same time, make your images have a ton of more depth, and adding visual interest in your frames. Tip number 5, use your grid. Having a grid on your camera app display is not automatic. So to turn this on, just go into your settings, photos and camera, and toggle grid on. With this on, you can now get fancy with your composition and easily frame for the rule of thirds, taking your photos to the next level. Tip number 6, lock focus and lock exposure. Now, most people don't know this, but the iPhone camera has a feature that allows you to lock the focus and exposure values when taking a photo. To unlock this feature, simply force touch where you want to focus. This feature is super useful when you don't want to have your exposure and focus all over the place. Tip number 7, abstract lighting. We all know lighting is key in photo and video. This doesn't change when you're shooting on your iPhone. Try to look for some really interesting patterns of light. Doing this creates a compelling yet moody image with some abstract elements. Now, of course, this isn't going to look like a Sony Alpha or Canon 5D Mark IV, but the point is, it's better than nothing. And you now have no excuse to capture the moment and tell a great story. So, get out there and start shooting. If you guys have any other great ideas that you want the A-Team to cover, drop it in the comment below. We would love to hear from you guys. Make sure you subscribe, share this video, turn on notifications, because we'll be making some more awesome content just for you guys. My name is Boima from the A-Team. I'll see you guys next time.